Hello, how is everyone doing? I am finally back with another video, and today we will be going over the forbidden fruit, God's test for the spiritual aspirant. Now, before we begin, I just like to go over that yes, it's been a while since I made a video of these sorts, but consider this a season 2, a continuation of the grand work, for the grand work has not been completed yet. And I'm very thankful for the people that are clicking on and are part of this journey. So thank you to those guys as well. And without further ado, guys, let's begin. God places some temptations before the aspirant to test his spiritual strength. He gives him also strength to conquer the temptations. The strongest temptation in this world is lust. All the saints pass through temptations. Temptations are profitable. People are instructed and strengthened. So many people who are practicing semen retention, brahmacharya, many aspirants know that the temptations, they don't get any easier. If anything, these temptations while on your journey will only grow and grow and grow. And these sorts of places and things you will see will grow and grow as well. That's also God's test to you. Because temptation is one side of duality. The strength to overcome is the other side of duality. Now, as it's mentioned here, the strongest temptation in this world is lust. If we think about how society is ran in the West, it seems like everything is conquered or through the lust. This is why I always explained, even in my previous videos, how important the seminal value is, how important this true electromagnetic force is, how potent the great and grand arcanum truly is. Even Buddha was tested for his mental purity. He had to face temptations of every sort. He had to face Mara. It was only then, and not till then, that he had illumination under the Bodhi tree in Gaya, a city in India. So Buddha is well known. Buddha is well known throughout the world. His teachings, his silence, his purity. Even he faced many temptations of every sort. But this goes to show you that the resilience of the mind can overcome anything. Now, with temptation and lust seems like a ginormous herd to overcome, the mind is much stronger. And I always tell young men and young aspirants all the time, everything you love or everything you desire is a byproduct of the mind. Men are mental thinkers. This is not to say that every gender is not a mental thinker, but think of man as a picturesque thinker. They're constantly thinking and projecting realities. These are the imaginative mind in play. Okay? And it's essential to be still in the mind, to calm the mind. Satan tempted Jesus in a variety of ways. Passion is very powerful. Many aspirants fail in these tests. One has to be very careful. The aspirant will have to develop a very high standard of mental purity. Then alone will he be able to stand the test. Now, in many of my semen retention videos, my brahmacharya videos, I have people putting in the days that they were abstaining from release, etc., and how many days they went, and they also went ahead and put that they relapsed. And the main byproduct is the mind. The mind is a astral temple. It receives many vibrations. You can go in and out of vibrations in astral worlds just by looking at someone, speaking to someone. You're traveling the astral at all times because the mind is the Atman of all Atmans. Therefore, it's essential to remain pure mentally in order to control your outer world, because it is always inward before outwards, or as many philosophers know and as many artists know, it's better termed as above, so below. God will place the aspirants in very unfavorable surroundings to test them. They will be tempted by young girls. Name and fame will bring the householders in close contact with the aspirants. Women begin to worship them. They become their disciples. Gradually, the aspirants get a nasty downfall. So it goes to without saying, guys, the more you go on your journey, the more everything will be attracted to you, whether this is people, money, opportunities. Many facets of life in the material world will be opened up to you in a grand scheme of things. Many men who believe that they are unworthy or incapable of achieving such heights have never truly experienced the powers of brahmacharya or the powers of seminal retention. And this is not me saying you should do this because you seek some external purpose. This is beyond that. I don't think anyone should be embarking on such a journey just because they want an end goal. Because, guys, there is no such thing as an end goal. Because when you have this, the mind now thinks, what is next? Although Rishi Vishwamitra was practicing severe atrocities, he was carried away by his turbulent senses when he came across the celestial nymph sent by Indra to disturb his tapas. So guys, tapas, which we will get into in a later video that I have ready for you guys about Shiva, about tapas Vince. We will talk about the generation of heat. We will talk about the heat of the body. We will talk about the field of energy that is what tapa is the essence of building heat, or the generation of heat through discipline, which can be used to clear physical, energetic, and thought tensions. This is why I tell you guys, under semen retention, this heat that you build up, this aura of the seminal value, this almost androgenic testosterone boost that you receive is like an outer shell of a layer or a protective layer around your electric body. And this allows for mental clarity. Not only that, it allows you to see clearly. And when I mean see clearly, I don't mean what you see out of your physical light apparatus, but to think clearly and to be without prejudice. And when I mean without prejudice, I don't mean judging people based on color, shape, ethnicity, and all these social constructs, but to see prejudice without fear, and which many facets of the world are being ran through this fear. Now guys, Rishi Vishwamitra, a very well-known sage, he even fell to lust from a celestial nymph sent from Indra to disturb his tapas, right? Many times you will fall. You will fall to temptation because the temptation of lust is so strong. And this is not for me to say I understand or for me to say that it is okay, but rather the strength that supersides this, the strength that oversees lust, is more immense than the lust itself. For when I explain it like this, I want to let you guys know, lust is not what you see through the physical light apparatus. Lust is here. Lust is you. You are the lust. You are the one projecting lust. Now, if you saw every woman as your mother or your sister, you wouldn't see this in a very lustful setting. Now, many parts of Western society is looking to degrade the mind, so much so that men are only thinking lustfully and that they are only in their lowest natures. And when this is happening, this only degrades women. It degrades men. It creates separation. Yeah. If Vish, Wamitra, and Parasara, who were living on leaves, air, and water, were victims of lust, what should be the fate of worldly people who are living on rich food? If they can control their passion, the Vindhya mountains will float on the ocean and fire will burn downwards. So guys, if we are here to tell you that these rishis and these sages who are potentially even allegorical stories, whether it's Shiva or these allegorical tales of lust, if they are able to fall to this grand temptation of lust, what does it say about the worldly people who are just worldly people? This shows that lust is definitely a very strong passion. But I am here to tell you that the mind is more powerful than any temptation in this cosmos. The mind itself is a very, very powerful thing. You can create, you can preserve, you can destroy. This is the trinity of what we know as God. The sex instinct is most powerful. The sex urge is formidable. It may conceal itself in underground compartments in the mind and assail you when you are not vigilant. It will attack you with redoubled force. Now, the sexual prowess, right, is very, very powerful. It is very, very strong. Even in elderly people, the last thing to go is hearing and lust. This is the driving force. This is the creating force. This is the lifelong ether created within all of us. This magnetic force is what creates everything you see in this cosmos. We will go much further when I put the video together of the Shiva video and we go over the Shiva Lingam and we explain the pillar and how this phallus explains how life was created through God itself. Now, it must be understood that the mind, if not pure, and if you're not vigilant in your thinking, it may creep up on you. It may start as a thought, and this thought becomes an impression, and this impression obviously becomes the action itself. So this is to say, guys, you have to be very, very, very keen on what you think, how you're thinking, and what will transpire from these thoughts that become impressions, and these impressions become actions. Think of everything in this cosmos to be premeditated. To some degree it shall be. Your birth, already premeditated. Your death, already premeditated. The people that come into your circle, exit your circle, pre-written in the cosmos. So it's essential, many of the yogis that watch, many of the young men that watch, to be very, very vigilant with how you think. Vigilant with how you use your energy. This is crucial. Vishwamitra fell a victim of Meneka. Another great rishi became prey to Ramba. Jamini got excited by a false woman, Masa. A powerful rishi was excited by the sight of the mating of a fish. A householder's aspirant carried away even his guru's wife. His guru's wife. Guys, this is to say, and this is to portray and exemplify how strong the lust really is and how strong the mind can detour because of this sexual prowess. Many of these great sages and rishis have fell to temptation, for they are just man as well. But strength is what changes a boy from a man, is when you can view anybody and everything as Brahma. Everything is Brahma in disguise. And when you could see past this illusion, you will see a time space that is in your control in essence. I will get much more in detail about what I mean by everyone being an Atman of Brahma, or a illusion of Brahma, very soon. Many aspirants are not aware of this secret urge, a treacherous enemy. They think that they are quiet, safe, and pure. When they are put to test, they become hopeless victims. Always remain alone, meditate, and slay this urge. Now, guys, with the use of media and social media, this indoctrination system of media is used to portray many symbols of lust. Guys, when I'm telling you, when you scroll through Instagram or many of these apps, these people are getting paid to portray lust, paid large amounts of money to portray lust. Now, this is not to say we are here to judge them. Now, they are free to do what they are free to do. But many aspirants must understand this, that lust is a very secret urge, a treacherous enemy that could creep up on just about anyone. Think of it as a tiger stalking its prey. Now, the tiger has special paws, so when they walk, they creep up, and you cannot hear a single sound. That's how potent their paws are. Lust is the same way even for Buddhists, Aghoris, Brahmacharis, yogis. Just the slightest loss of detail and attention and thought can lead to this lust overcoming you and brutalizing you, because this loss of this energy, once lost, does not come back. It can be rebuilt up again. Yes, I've explained this many times, that it can be rebuilt up again. But as Pythagoras said, if you are to release, be willing to give up whatever strength that you do have, and realize that that strength won't come back. You can get up to a strength of that kind, but that initial strength that you had, it's like a decaying process. I want you to think of the Ouroboros. Now, I don't have the image of the Ouroboros here for you guys, but you guys that do know what the Ouroboros is the snake essentially biting its own tail. This is a nice reference of what is happening in life force, a nice reference as to the decaying process. Now, the life giver is also the life taker. For this immense magnetic force, it also becomes an abysmal void once released. Therefore, it's essential to slay these thoughts of lust and remain in sadhana if you truly, truly want to immerse yourself as a brahmachari, semen retention, whatever your goals truly are, right? On this channel, we don't necessarily have strict guidelines for whoever comes and watches. These videos are for anyone and everyone, general populaces of any kinds, regardless on what your journey is. Now, I don't expect anyone to become an Aghori, completely cut themselves off from their family lineage, smear themselves with ash, and renounce the world. Now, for some, that may be awesome. That may be great. Now, for some, that just sounds incredibly indifferent to what they truly want. But regardless, for the people that do understand how strong the lust is, it's essential to meditate and slay the urge. Because, guys, lust is your mind. Everything is your mind. Overcoming lust was also your mind. The beauty you saw was your mind. Everything is an illusion of Atman or Brahma. Money and women shine more brightly than God for an ignorant, passionate man. Maya is that therefore very powerful. Adam fell on account of one loose moment. Eve was tempted on account of one desire. The forbidden fruit will ripen before the human eyes in no time. Now, this allegorical tale that has been going on for centuries and decades, etc., it is a true testament to the sexual prowess. It is a allegorical tale that explains life and death. Adam Kadmon, or Adam, the first created man, was carrying this potent energy. And once amalgamated with Eve, or assimilated with Eve, this created death. And this is exactly what I mean by the Ouroboros being the giver of life and also the taker of life. A post will look like the illustrious Deva and make you bow in utter submission before it. Beware of Maya and its meshes. The chains of gold can be cut asunder, but not the silken meshes of Maya. A single unguarded moment is sufficient to capsize the whole casket of pearls down into the dark abyss of passion and lust. It only takes a second for you to lose everything you created, everything you built up. But it takes monstrous amounts of time and energy to build and have mental clarity and mental strength. Now let's get into this. Maya, a fundamental concept in Hindu philosophy, notably in Advaita, non-dualist school of Vedanta. Maya originally denoted the magic power with which a god can make human beings believe in what turns out to be an illusion. By extension, it later came to mean the powerful force that creates the cosmic illusion that the phenomenal world is real. For non-dualists, Maya is thus the cosmic force that presents the infinite Brahman, the supreme being, as the finite phenomenal world. Every single being is Brahma in essence, Brahma being a different version of Brahma itself, because Brahma is the creation, Shiva is the destroyer, Vishnu is the preserver. Every single person, every animal, every living entity, even the non-living entities, is Brahma. Maya is reflected on the individual level by human ignorance, ajnana, or the real nature of the self, which is mistaken for the empirical ego, but which is reality, identical with Brahman. In essence, guys, we are all emanating off the one Kether, the one ether, the one infinite Brahman, and we are all shells of what Brahma is. And the ego, this individuality that we may think we have within our microcosm, the macrocosm is still the infinite Brahman, God itself. Now this may not be something people understand that are so tied into the worldly views, because people think that what they see through their eyes is all that meets the eye, when nothing can be even more the case. It's what you see through this eye that means the most, because when you close your eyes, that is what remains. The void of voids. This shows the true self, silence, nothing, abysmal void. This is where Brahma resides. The moss that is momentarily displaced in a tank resumes its original position in the twinkling of an eye. Similarly, Maya, envelope, even the wise if they are careless for even 1 minute. Therefore, sleepless vigilance is necessary in the spiritual path. just one negative thought can mesh and create many, many pathways. That's why I say the mind is like an astral portal. One thought can create many facets of thoughts, many directions for you to go through. So it's essential on the spiritual path to be very vigilant in thinking, very vigilant on how you perceive things. This requires the removal of fear entirely. And we'll get into the aspects of fear when we really go deep into what we have to speak of about Shiva. The proverb goes, there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. Before you begin to eat the fruit of wisdom, the monkey Maya will snatch it away from your hand. Even if you swallow it, it may get stuck to your throat. Therefore, you will have to be ever vigilant and careful till you attain Bhuma, or the highest realization. You should not stop your sadhana falsely, thinking that you have reached the goal. So until your time ends in this cosmos, until you reach that full realization, you finally dissolve and become once again with the macrocosm, the infinite Brahma, God itself. And you dissolve yourself of the ego, the individualization, the microcosm of the self, what is known in Malkuth. It's essential to be diligent in your thinking, careful in your thinking, because just a split second, it could be taken right from you. It could be taken right from your hands. All the work you put in, all the energy you put in. He who lives in seclusion is more exposed to temptations and danger. He will have to be very careful and vigilant. The mind will be tempted to do anything as there is nobody to witness its evil. All suppressed evil vrittis will be waiting for an opportunity to attack him with redoubled force. So guys, vritti is considered a thought pattern or a whirlpool, and we see the infinity here as well. Now samskara is the impression itself. This thought pattern, this whirlpool of thoughts that happen, when you are alone, these thoughts may double, it may triple. Lust may seek in. Just do it. You're by yourself. There's nothing to lose. No one will know no one's watching. But energy is always aware. It's always aware. So now seclusion is not bad, especially if you know how to overcome the mind. The mind is what needs to be overcome. If you can overcome your mind, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing that can hold you back. All suppressed evil vrittis will be waiting. These evil thoughts, or what we consider lust, which is necessarily not a bad thought, it's just an overwhelming thought, and it can consume the individual who is an outward looker. If you are an inward looker, if you have your eyes closed, now you see that lust is really within. Lust is within you. You are the creator of lust. When you see someone or you see a woman and you're seeing it lustfully, that was your mind doing so. Now, like I said previously, if we're viewing women as we're viewing our mothers and daughters, we would see them as a goddess, or we would see them as a true reflection of what nature is. We wouldn't see them as with the animalistic mind with a strong force of lust. So the evil thoughts can attack you in a doubled force, almost overpowering your singular entity of your single force of remaining diligent, doing your sadhana, meditation. This is considered a single entity, and lust can come doubled back, really trying to overpower you. But understand that temptations are good for the path. Temptations make people strong. Pressure makes diamonds. He is just like a man who is put in a big bag with a tiger, a serpent, and a bear. The enemy's anger, lust, and greed will take you unawares. When you walk alone in the spiritual path, they will attack you like the thieves who attack a lone passenger in the dense forest. Therefore, always be in the company of the wise. Do not go astray. You need to know how to control the mind. If the mind, or lust, or the physical body, the material plane overpowers you, you are like a deer in the headlights. Now here I have a picture of a cobra. A cobra is very special in the fact that it has a hood. This hood is about complete stillness. The cobra, when it's standing and you see its hood expanded, it is a great demonstration of what true stillness is. Stillness of the mind, stillness of the physical body. And the cobra will not strike until it knows it has a perfect chance for the strike. This is how the mind should be. Learn to be still with the body, still with the mind. And then, on this spiritual path, there won't be anything to attack you. Lust, anger, greed, none of this can attack you because now you're protected. You are the cobra itself. And on the spiritual path, you will be still and you will be strong and you will be very well aware of what's going on around you. This is why we see Shiva depicted with the cobra, because the stillness of Shiva shows the stillness of the serpent. The serpent is also not going to move, for it is waiting. And if Shiva is still in the mind and body, so will the cobra. So, my friends, do not go astray. Understand that your life is very important. Your life force is very important. So thank you for joining me today for this video. As we went over the forbidden fruit, God's test for the spiritual aspirant. We went over many allegorical tales today, and I'm glad you guys joined me today. And I'm glad you guys understand or have learned something along the sorts of why this electromagnetic ether is so important and why society is using it to put you in your lowest nature. It's important we make videos like this. It's important we do grand work like this because our words, our speech is what's going to impact the future nations. Our words, our speech, our doings, our actions. This is the grand work. We want to make sure the people coming next after us understand what is going on and understand that we aren't in a physical war. We are in a spiritual warfare where energy vampires are looking to take your most potent source, the Atman of all Atmans, Brahma in disguise. Lust can take over in many shapes and forms. But a true aspirant, a true yogi who is true in his sense and as still as a cobra and can pounce like a tiger, can overcome anything. So once again, guys, thank you for joining me. I plan on continue to making videos of these sorts. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for all the kind comments. It really means a lot. I check all of them and they mean so much to this journey. Thank you guys very much. I am out of here.